Hey guys, and welcome back to another video and another match for Tribe Gaming. Today at this weekend we had a couple of matches, and one of those you saw already 2 days ago, and the next one is coming in today. Tribe Gaming versus Scorpion Monkeys in the next league, and this is gonna be a fun match. I will once again show you guys every single attack of the war, and well, I guess let's jump into the first attack. Let's get some action going and see how the war turn out. So the first attack is going to be Nick for Tribe Gaming. So Tribe Gaming is starting off this war, and we're taking a look at Suilado. Suilado is getting more and more popular again right now in all of those pro matches, especially because so many people are trying to defend hybrid. What this means is, first off, black mines are getting placed against queen charges, tornado traps are getting placed against, I don't know, Yeti blimps and stuff like that. But all of this together means that you're leaving open one of the strongest armies, which were on Town Hall 12, and this is just Suilado. So Suilado is coming back. On this one, Nick is going for a nice Sui for the Town Hall, and on the right side you can see that his king and his royal champion together took out the enemy queen and the enemy scalar shot together. This is huge because the scalar shot will be kind of annoying to reach for his backhand, so this means this is way better pathing and way less damage for his loons on the back end. So he's starting off with his slammer in the beginning, having a rage early on, and the dragon in there, which means the dragon versus the royal champion in a 1 versus 1 can beat the royal champion in the rage spell. So that was kind of important, and you can see over here the tornado trap was placed against the Yeti blimp from the 1 o'clock side. Now he's coming in with the Slado from the right side. And the back end Tesla farm is kind of annoying, but he has like so many more spells left. Freezing the core to make sure that the sweeper is going down. The multi Inferno towers keep staying, but that's not really too bad for him since he has like such a big army of loons still left. And this is looking really good. Not too much time left, but this should be easily a 3-star for him. One more freeze to go, which he won't drop the freeze at all, because he's hoping for his lava hound to pop. Like, there's so many freaking loons in there that the defenses will go down like 100%. And what he's hoping for is that the lava hound is like popping, and this means there's even more cleanup, because like in time fill is the only way how this could be a defense. Lava hound is not popping in the end, which means he has to like wait for his troops. Now the lava hound is popping. You can see there are way more pups now helping to clean up and everything. So this attack is looking good. One swag freeze basically. So nicely done by Nick. So let's take a look at the next attack of this war, which is going to be from Scorpion Monkeys. And they're coming in hot on Hex first, so they're going for the Yeti Smash. And Yeti Smash is kind of liked by a lot of people. He's starting off with one P.E.K.K.A. I'm not 100% sure if this P.E.K.K.A. was intended or not. I feel like the P.E.K.K.A. was a misdrop, because to be honest, the P.E.K.K.A. made no sense at all. Like, one loon would have been enough over there, and maybe a baby dragon, but this is like 25 troop space for something like 3 buildings. That's not worth it, to be honest. But either way, this is the beginning. Invest is already in rage. Like I said, the P.E.K.K.A. already as well. And now he's taking care of the clan castle, which is nice because he's out of range of everything, which means no more spells are needed except the poison. Now he can get started with the war break into the tunnel compartment and the jumper spell in behind. So that's like a kind of typical opener for a Yeti Smash. The only bad thing about this is that his queen will actually take the channel. So you guys might ask, why exactly are those channels next to the town hall? Because now you can reach the town hall basically, so this isn't a good thing. Well, the reason behind why exactly those channels are is kind of shown in this attack, because the queen won't take the entry with the main group of troops. Instead, she's going into this long alley and is basically stuck on the wall forever, because that's what those queens like to do. Instead, the Yeti and boulders are trying to get deeper into the base, but without having the support of the queen. This is obviously a huge issue. And the next thing is that the healers are actually stuck on the queen. This both together is resulting in a huge fail on this one. Or like, it's not a huge fail because the queen is still alive, so that's kind of the key on this one. So the queen can collect some more percentage, but it looks like a fail. But now a really nicely timed free spell maybe can save this attack. The king is going down, meanwhile on the right side queen still has her ability left. The royal champion is clearing out the single inferno tower, which is key in this one. And now the queen is running for her life. Like, she is trying to collect as many buildings as possible. The healers are switching back, but she can't reach the single inferno tower, which means this is going to result in not only a time fail, but as well in a fail overall as well. So nice try. Like I said, those were the reasons why those long alleys are next to the town hall compartment. And this was a nice showcase about that. Let's take a look at the next attack, which is going to be from me for Tribe. And this is another Queen Charge Hybrid. Right now, Queen Charge Hybrid is so strong, so it's kind of stupid to not use the strategy, to be honest, even though you feel kind of dirty after that. But still, Queen Charge Hybrid right now is like the strongest, if one of the strongest armies in the game. And, well, if you can abuse that for those tournament matches, whatever, you should do that. So what is the goal right now? Like, what do I aim for in this attack? So the goal of my attack is to let my queen charge into this long channel in this open area. The defender built this base with like thinking that no one would try to abuse that, because as soon as you're getting closer to the town hall, the healers would be under fire of the town hall beams. And this first obviously was like a kind of, should I do that moment for me? But at the same time, you could just freeze the town hall and just rage the queen, and she can reach everything because there's nothing important in the second layer. That's something which you always should keep in mind when you're building or attacking a base. Most of the time, the second layer is the most important thing when you're doing queen charges. On this one, the second layer on the right side is like a wizard tower. You don't freaking care about a wizard tower in the second layer. And then there's a cannon on the right side as well. Who cares about that? And now the queen is going finally for the town hall, for the expo and everything, using her ability right now. And the hybrid is coming in from the right side. Now the healers are switching, which is kind of interesting. I thought my queen would still need her the help of the healers, but this means the rage was kind of wasted, to be honest. At least I got the town hall down. I had to freeze the town hall to make sure everything is going smooth. But with the healers switching over, this is actually not the worst thing which could happen, because the healers now in the rage can keep the troops alive and they could just mill through the base. If you guys are wondering why exactly did I brought the wallbreaker, the wallbreaker was intended to wallbreak the queen once again in on the left side to make sure that she can reach the scatter shot, but now everything is going to like being messed up. So this is still I tried to still get the 3-star with the healers being alive and the healers being the MVP of this one right now, because, well, the healers keeping everything alive, and they switched so many times to the royal champion to make sure that the royal champion is staying alive, which is kind of key. Royal champion ability, taking out the bomb tower, taking out the archer tower, and now she is going for those skeletons and going for the scatter shot and the cannon. And even though I was completely unlucky with those stupid healer switches, I still was able to come out on top in the end to get the 3-star. So lucky me, I guess. And let's see if Scorpion Monkeys can like somehow get the 3-star on their own and get this once again to a close one. So the next one who's going to attack is Bertus, and he's going to attack Lexnos. He's starting off with Queen Charge Hawk Riders, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people are choosing more like Queen Charge Hybrid instead of Hawk Riders because a lot more people feel like that's stronger. So let's see how that how that will work. Starting off with the Yeti Blimp to make sure that he's luring out the clan castle. Nicely done. No rage needed. Not really, really well done. I see so many people doing it wrong, like investing a rage even though it's not needed and stuff like that. So that's always like it feels bad, man, when you're wasting basically a rage. So nicely done over here. And now the clan castle is coming out. Healers are getting placed. I think what could have been done better, he could have dropped his queen way earlier, because what is happening now, first off, he had like 20 seconds already just like wasted by deploying the Yeti Blimp. And the second thing is he has the rage right now because there's the archer tower and the cannon on his queen. With using the queen earlier, those both defenses would have been gone and this rage would have not been needed. So now he's trying to make the cut with his king, which is looking really good for him. One more Hawk Rider. And now the queen is going in as well, going for the town hall. He's going to get rid of the town hall really easily, but after that, there's where the danger begins. Like, this is a lot of damage, like 3 expos and a scatter shot and then the queen. This is going to be tough to survive that. So Queen has to use her ability to make sure that she's somehow staying alive. Now the Hawk Riders are coming in, and this is like, I don't know, like the Hawk Riders should have came in from the left side and not like from this huge big flank. Like when he's going for this cannot work. I already talked about spell placement in this game, and like Galadin loves to talk about that. So spell timing and placement. And the important thing about Hawk Riders or troops overall, which rely so heavily on spells, for example, Hawk Riders or like hybrid, you want to have them grouped up. That's kind of the key. And with deploying on such a big flank of a base, you can easily mess up the heal spells. And on this one, it was just the case. The bottom wizard tower targeted a group of Hawk Riders which died in the end because there was no heal spell on them. With having all of the Hawk Riders coming in from the left and then like from the bottom like you did with the Royal Champion, which is a good idea because all of the heroes are dead, I think this could have been an easy 3-star for them. But in the end, this will result in another defense for us. It's a high percentage, so they're still in the game, still can win the war. But yeah, that's something which you guys should always keep in mind. Try to have your troops concentrated if they're relying on spells. That's really important. If you're doing something like, I don't know, like a spam dragon or whatever, or like a queen walk dragon, or you do not have too many spells left for your dragons, then it's totally fine if they're splitting up or whatever. But if you want to have spells for your second, or it doesn't really matter whether it's your first or the second phase, whatever, as soon as you want to have spells for a group of troops, try to have them bunched up because this is way more effective. So on this one, this will end on 89%, and this means they're still in the war. But well, we try to keep tripling, right? Like this is what we try right now. Hex is coming in next, once again with the Queen Charge Hybrid, and he's starting off with a Yeti Blimp as well. On this base, the Tornado Trap was a bit deep inside, which means for his Yeti Blimp was basically completely useless. Now his Queen Walk is getting started, everything is looking really good, and now we have some time to spare because those Ice Golems would take for ages to get through. It's super annoying when you're doing those Queen charges and you feel like, come on Queen, a little bit quicker. This takes so freaking long. It's so annoying. And they're already nerfed it, I think. So yeah, it's annoying. So yeah, Queen is doing her thing over there, going finally for the last Ice Golem, and now going for the defenses. And the next thing which he's doing is really great because he is going for an aggressive rage spell. Like, what do I mean by that? Normally when you're placing a rage spell, you want to hit the queen and the healers when you're doing a queen charge. But what he's doing instead, he's not hitting his healers. Instead, he's only placing the rage spell for his queen. Why exactly is he doing that? He is not needing the rage on the healers right now, so this means he just wants to get through the defenses quicker at this point, and this is why he plays an aggressive rage. So nicely done over there. Could have been even a little bit more aggressive, but so far everything is looking really good. King funneled the left side. So now the spring traps coming in really, really strong for the defenders. So nicely on the spring trap placement. But now the queen is getting into the inner channel, trying to get rid of the scatter shot, which is super important. Another rage, or like the last rage for the hybrid to get a little bit faster through this freeze effect of the town hall. And meanwhile, the queen is still going strong in the core. One last heal spell is getting placed, and this means the last freeze is getting placed as well. So this means no more spells left for this attack, and this is going to be a super close race. Like, Royal Champion is still alive, a couple of hybrid troops are still alive, the last Hawk Rider is going down right now, and this means only minus are still alive. So this is always a little bit risky when you're getting into the back end. You're thinking like, yeah, I have so many minus still alive. Sometimes it's getting really close because those miners will target those storages nearly always first because I don't know why, but it always feels like that. But with this Royal Champion ability, he can get rid of the last couple of remaining defenses, which might be an issue. So this is going to be another triple for us, nicely done by Hex, and this means we are 3 out of 3. And well, Scorpion Monkeys need to travel the next one, otherwise this war is over. But either way, we can still try to go for the perfect war, right? Like, this is the next goal. So Scorpion Monkeys are coming in on my base, and let's see. He's going once again for the Suilalo. Like I said, Suilalo is getting more and more popular right now, and it's actually pretty strong. So if you guys want to learn a strategy which you might not have used so far, Suilalo is one of the toughest strategies to go for, but it's one of the strongest as well. So now he's getting into the Sui part, which is the beginning, like the attack start for the strategy, and he's getting ASAP into this Tesla farm at the top side, which is placed over there against the Yeti blimp. Like, so there are so many different things which you can see with the Yeti blimp, so you have to be super careful as a base builder. Now the rest of the wall breakers are coming in, and well, the tornado trap actually denying the wall break. That's crazy. But I think either way, like even if the wall break would have happened, the queen would have never went inside. So that's kind of the thing about this. So I don't know if the wall break was actually the important thing. Either way, now the Ice Cube is coming in on the right side. Royal Champion is going for the inner core, going for the scatter shot and the single Inferno Tower, and he's trying to his best, or like she's trying her best to make sure that everything is going down. Royal Champion ability a bit too late, to be honest. Guys, always try, like when you see, okay, Royal Champion won't be able to finish the defending building on her own. Try to remember how many hits she will need and how many hits her ability will need. Which means, for example, on Inferno Tower, as soon as the Royal Champion hit the Inferno Tower twice, you can use the ability and the Inferno Tower will be down. So you always need those numbers to make sure that you have the most HP after the building. So for example, he had like 4 hits, I think, and then used the Royal Champion ability, which means she had less HP after using her ability than she could have had. The next thing on this one is the Warden ability was used super early, which means most of the loons were dying in the Town Hall explosion, and this is not looking too good for him, and this means there's going to be another defense for us. This basically means this is the win for us, except we get another, or like we get a 1-star or something like that. But yeah, this is making the war pretty over, but still, we want to go for the perfect war. That's right now the goal which we are going for. So let's see if we can somehow accomplish this. Meanwhile, this attack was a nice try, a couple of flaws in this. I hope I was able to explain it better on why and when to use the Royal Chain ability when you're doing something like that, or even on the back end, it's sometimes important. But well, let's take a look at the next attack, which is going to be once freaking again Sui Lalo. So like I said, this attack is getting more and more popular. Now we have EVE coming in, and what is he doing? He's starting off at the top side in this outside eagle. The eagle looks kind of strange. I never saw something like this except in like trophy bases. But I mean, if it works, let's see. He's coming in with like 2 ice squirmers supporting his heroes, and he's actually getting into this with all his 3 heroes. So what he's going for? Obviously the enemy heroes at the top side, like the enemy Royal Champion was there, I think, and the King. And then the Eagle, obviously, enemy clan casters out of the way. And the next goal, I think, for him is this air defense. To make sure that he's getting a huge cut in this ring base, because that's what it is. And as soon as he's getting down the air defense, he can start his Lalo. But unluckily, his Royal Champion is not making it, and the air defense for now is staying alive. But the Queen is actually being MVP and taking out the single Inferno Tower. With this, there is a cut. There's a nice cut for the pathing, so everything is looking really good for him. So now he's starting off with his Lalo. And actually, he has like an MVP Queen. He has a Queen, which is actually smart, which is a rare thing to have. But she's going off for the air defense at the top side, which means she will save the Warden, because the Warden is flying like a stupid, I don't know. The Warden is like in the center. Yes. And now the Town Hall's down. The Dragon is going over to the enemy Queen. Still tons of haste spells left, so this is looking crazy good for him. Big group on the back end still of the loons. And now he's just basically spamming those haste spells in to get the back end of the base, with a nice freeze in the end as well to cover most of the stuff. So this should be another triple for Tribe. So we're really close to this perfect war. This should be a nice win for us. And like I said, from this point on, there's not too easy of a comeback for Scorpion Monkeys, except they would triple the next one, and we have a huge fan of the last attack. So let's take a look at the next attack, and let's see if they can triple. But this is completely wrecked by EVE. Nicely done by him. 1 haste spell as well as a swag spell, so like our first Sui Lalo where we had a swag freeze. Now with the swag haste, nicely done, and this means we're 1 step closer to the perfect war. So let's take a look at the next attack of Scorpion Monkeys. So The next one is going to be, once again, Queen Charge Hybrid from SZ and SC. And let's take a look at the opener, which he's doing. He's starting off with the funnel with the sneaky goblins, which are really nice to funnel actually. And now the king as well, coming in with like 3 more warbreakers. And to be honest, 3 warbreakers without the rage is really ballsy, especially with having the king that low. And now the next set of warbreakers, but it's already way too late. His queen already passed the Inferno Tower and will never come back. Now she's going for the Town Hall actually, trying to beat that, but the queen is dying with all of the damage on her. And this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign for him. The Town Hall surviving barely with like 0 HP. This is not something which you wish anyone. So let's see on how he can recover. He's coming in with a hybrid, so he will have to somehow make sure that the Town Hall is going down. Dropping a couple of loons at the top side as well to somehow get the Town Hall, maybe, because like I said, the Town Hall is nearly on 0 HP. So yeah, let's see. Now he's getting into the hybrid, and the Royal Chamber is getting targeted by the single Inferno Tower, freezing one cannon, and the Royal Champion is dying meanwhile as well. I think he should have just deployed the Royal Champion for the Town Hall, and that's it. Like, just the Royal Champion ability would have cleared the Town Hall already. And, well, instead the Royal Champion was kind of dying against the Inferno Tower. The last heal spell a bit deep inside. Now he's healing the miners, which went over to the Ice Golems. So this is actually really close on the second star, but he has like a couple of more percentage troops on the outside. So this should be a second star, but this is GG regarding the end of the war. So the only question we have right now is, do we get the perfect war? Do we get the perfect war with our last attack? The last one is going to be Lex, who has to do the attack. So feeling pretty good about this. Let's see on how he can execute his attack and whether everything is looking right. So that's it, 57%. And the next one is going to be Lex, who's coming in. Hybrid, once again, like I said, hybrid. Right now, one of the most common strategies out there in those competitive matches, I would say. Yeti Smash is still pretty strong, maybe even stronger, but it's a little bit random. And that's never a good thing for the competitive aspect, because you want to have a strategy where you have as much impact on the attack as possible. Yeti Smash is strong, but always there's the small part where it's random. And this is not really liked too much. So this is why hybrid is that more common and that more used than, for example, Yeti Smash. But for now, we take a look at the next attack. A couple of archers already coming out, and the witch. The annoying thing right now for Lex is that he can't deploy his poison yet, because if there is like 2 ice golems in there, the poison is kind of useless. But if there's another lava hound in there, he will need the poison. Instead, there are 2 ice golems in there, which is unlucky, I guess. But yeah, let's see. Poison right now, everything is looking good. The first wallbreaker was perfect. And now, in the second, he's getting into the next set of wallbreakers, I guess. Yep, here we go. But he actually placed the wallbreakers not like far enough on the top side, which means they targeted not the top corner of the compartment. Even if those the bomb tower is like a little bit like moved and not getting into the corner of the wall, you can still target that wall if you're placing your wallbreakers really far at the top side. And the test wallbreaker was actually, I think, at the top side. So yeah, the second set of wallbreakers were not like perfectly placed, which means the scatter shot were able to kill them. And this means it's really tough for him to have like a pathing into the tunnel, but maybe he can still save it. Like, never say never, especially on those hybrid attacks. Miners are getting into the town hall. Hybrid troops are finally together. Hawk Riders and the miners. Now enemy heroes are getting closer, freezing the scatter shot and the enemy eagle to make sure that there's not too much damage anymore. And the queen, meanwhile, is dying. She took care of most of the stuff at the bottom side, so there's still decent pathing, I would say. The last heal spell is getting placed in the core. No spells left anymore, which is not too bad, because as you guys can see, slowly but surely those important defenses are falling. The multi-inferno tower at the top side is down. The next Inferno Tower is about to go down. The Scatter Shot is going to be down. And once again, those healers are switching. And this is something which is so important in those attacks, that the healers, even if the main group or like the queen is dying, the healers will have some sort of impact. But with the Royal Champion being down, this is what I was talking about earlier in the video. When there's only minus left, it's really hard for them only concentrate on the defenses. So there are 4 more defenses to stay, and that's it. 94% for legs. Really close to the perfect war, but still a great performance overall. I won't show the last attack of Scorpion Monkeys, not meant in any disrespectful way, but that was a 1-star. I can imagine in the last couple of days, and I had a tons of 1-star as well on my own. So I know he will feel bad. No reason for me to show it one more time. Huge respect to that. Like, it happens. This is how the game works. For us, this was a really good war. I showed you guys all of our attacks. I hope you guys liked it, and well, I hope I see you guys back tomorrow for another one. See you guys until then, and bye bye.